On February the 23rd, TVC News brought you the story of 3 stolen children in Ajuwon area of Ogun State. More than 1 month after the unfortunate abduction, the parents of the missing children are begging Nigerians and concerned authorities to intensify efforts to rescue them. Senior correspondent Ivy Kano visited the area again and brings us this report.
This is Ishekiri Street in Ajuwon area of Ogun State. A first-time visitor will think all is well in the area, but pain lurks here. These 3 mothers are united by fate. Their children were stolen by a neighbor in February. During our last visit, we did not meet Miracle's family, but here they are still optimistic that their daughter will be found.
Because what I have that day, I have soup. So she said that she don't want to eat soup. Her favorite food is rice. I said, you should hold on, let me sell market. I'm looking for her. Up till now, I didn't see, but I know my God that I'm serving will not put me into shame. She will come back.
Kafiyat Oseni and Oluchi Okeke are worried that no headway has been made in tracking down the abductors of their children.
Anywhere that we go, they'll tell us that he's alive, he's alive. Though that is not what we want to get. We want to see them.
Landlord sent address of Afa to my husband, and my husband took it to Elewe, and my husband still asked them again that why did they release those 2 people? And they told my husband that they have Oga, say they are Oga that released them.
Peter's father is accusing the Ogun State Police Command of giving up on the case.
I have told them that I want to transfer the case to another police station, but they have refused.
So call help me.
We'll also make effort to reach the Police Public Relations of Ogun State Command and see how far they've gone with the case, and probably also ask him why those people were released.
We are still on it. We are doing everything possible to ensure that those 3 kids were rescued on hot. The investigation is still ongoing, and we are not going to leave any stone unturned until those children were found.
And using the name of God as a...
It was an emotional sight when the mothers went on their knees to plead with Nigerians to look for the whereabouts of their children. Ivy Kano, TVC News, Lagos.
With the report that the Lagos State government has set up the Lagos Parks Management Committee, which is expected to oversee the affairs of all motor parks and garages in the state. In a statement signed by the State Commissioner for Information, Benga Motosho, the move is in fulfillment of the government's promise to ensure that events in the National Union Road transport workers are not allowed to threaten law and order. Members are to report to the Ministry of Transportation, LOUGH, Secretariat, Ikeja. Noel Musiliu Akinsanya, popularly known as MC Oluomo, has been appointed as chairman of the committee. Other members of the committee include former police commissioner in Lagos, Mr. Hakeem Odumosu. Before these new developments, the government had on March the 10th suspended NURTW operations in all parks and garages following the tensions sparked by some events in the union. The NURTW has also suspended MC Oluomo over alleged misconduct, insubordination and incitement. Meanwhile, the Ondo State government has warned members of the National Union of Road Transport Workers in the state to shun anything that can affect the peaceful coexistence among the people of the state. This was part of the decisions taken at the State Executive Council meeting in Akure. Ayodej Moradeo reports.
Monday, the 4th of April, Ondo State government inaugurated the Park Management Committee for various motor parks in the state.
We are here to witness the inauguration of the newly established State Parks Management Committee.
Few hours after the inauguration, 2 rival groups in the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, clashed, leaving many injured. At its weekly Executive Council meeting, the state government frowned at the crisis and gave stern warning to the warring factions. Briefing journalists at the end of the meeting, The State Commissioner for Information, Donald Ojogo, said members of the Park Management Committee were carefully selected. Special advisor to the governor on transport also expressed displeasure with the attempt to cause unnecessary tension in the state.
The measure is also not aimed at empowering an individual or a group of persons against others. As we are aware, the membership of the Parks Management Committee cuts across, as it were, all seemingly conflicting or contradictory tendencies within the NURTW. So it goes along to establish the fact that government remained unbiased.
Some people took to the street, they took hand and law to their hands, and adequately the state has responded. And if you go to the street today, you see various law enforcement agents at strategic places. And we are now enjoying the good people of Ondo State to go and do their legitimate businesses.
At the meeting, the State Executive Council approved the selection of new traditional rulers for some communities.
The council considered and approved appointment of ACCUSE for Akoko in Akoko Northeast local government of the state and for Ifon in central government. These are essential conditions.
The Ondo State government says it will continue to take decisions in the best interest of the people of the state and also guarantee their safety. Ayodeji Moradeyo, TVC News.
And there was an altercation between the Deputy Speaker Ahmed Idris and Edo member SERGIUS Ogun at plenary on Wednesday. The argument led to the rejection of a motion that urges a probe into the alleged invasion of the Federal High Court in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State by some policemen. National Assembly correspondent Chokadisa reports.
Edo lawmaker SERGIUS Ogun rose to challenge the Deputy Speaker for jumping over his motion to the one after it.
No drama, I don't understand. You have the authority to say I will not take it. But what I say, what is fair. I can't be, my motion is listed and I am here to take it.
The Deputy Speaker insisted his action was deliberate because SERGIUS Ogun was busy making noise while plenary was on. SERGIUS Ogun took exception to the comment and challenged the Deputy Speaker to read to him the relevant portion of the House rules.
If we want to add this to our I'm fine with it.
Not adding.
I know you have the authority because you are presiding.
The confrontation went on between the two men until SERGIUS Ogun apologized to the presiding officer.
My brother, my advisor, and the next speaker in the 10th Assembly, I wish to tender my apology. Mr. Speaker, I took conflict this morning with a lot of sugar, so my adrenaline was pumping. I am sorry, sir.
House Leader Halazana Dodogua called for disciplinary measures against SERGIUS Ogun, insisting an apology was not tenable.
No one member can just rise here and operate in jungle, only to take the advantage of saying, just I'm sorry. This is giving us a very bad example. Is it a jungle? This is an institution that must be respected by us, who are members of this house.
But the Deputy Speaker later gave the member an opportunity to move his motion. The leader went around convincing his colleagues to kill the motion in order to teach him a lesson.
Wednesday, February 16, 2022, while Justice Toyin Adegoke was sitting at the Federal High Court in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, some armed officers of the Nigerian police invaded the courtroom and took away one of the defendants in a matter pending before the courts.
And true to his advice, members rejected the motion.
Against any, the nays have it.
The rejected motion seeks a probe into the alleged police invasion of the Federal High Court, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Chokadisa, TVC News, Abuja.
The Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the government to comply with a 35% affirmative action for women. Delivering judgment, Justice Donatus Okorowo said the federal government had the obligation to implement the 35% affirmative action, accusing past governments of acting in breach of international treaties on women participation in government. Justice Okorowo added that the national gender policy is not merely a policy statement, but one that must be backed with requisite action on the part of the government. It said the 35% affirmative action, which entails appointive positions for women to ensure inclusivity, must not be merely on paper, as Nigeria is signatory to international treaties, particularly in those entrenching the rights of women. Nigerian Bar Association is working with security agencies in the country to either eradicate or minimize conflict on human dignity and bickering in the discharge of their respective functions. As part of measures to achieve this, the NBA has set up an NBA and Security Agencies Relations Committee headed by Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Joe Gadzama. Our correspondent Celestina Iria reports.
The committee set up by the president of the NBA has met with authorities of the EFCC, ICPC and NSCDC, while a meeting is already scheduled with the Office of the Inspector General of Police IGP in order to ensure collaboration at the highest levels. At the first hybrid town hall meeting in Abuja, with the team lawyers, security agents and the rule of law, President of the NBA says it is time for legal practitioners and security operatives to learn how to discharge their respective functions within the ambit of the rule of law. The incessant bickerings arising in the discharge of their functions by lawyers and security operatives are unnecessary, and permanent solutions must be found to ensure that they work without stepping on each other's toes. A Deputy Commissioner of Police and Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Samuel Long, noted that pride and arrogance are responsible for the bickerings among lawyers and police. Mr. Long, who is the first serving police officer to become a son in Nigeria, called for synergy between lawyers and security agents because they have vital role to play in ensuring safety of life and property. He noted that a situation where lawyers and security agents see themselves as enemies must be eradicated.
Conflict between lawyers and security agencies. We have looked at one of the causes I've seen, from practically speaking, that is from my perspective, is pride. You know, most of us lawyers are trained to be very proud. So we carry that pride to wherever we go.
Is with administration of justice to ensure that adequate sanctions are given to both errant security agents and lawyers.
Everything must be done in compliance with and in accordance to the law. This assertion renders it abundantly obvious that the composition of the key players in the quest to enhance, entrench, and sustain this concept consists of the ministers in justice on temple, who must at all times observe, uphold, and promote the rule of law.
The South-South Youth Initiative has issued a 2-month ultimatum to the Rivers State government to address the rate of unemployment and the plight of retirees. The group, which is also threatening to embark on a protest, says life has been hard for many youths and senior citizens in the state. Senior reporter Uche Okoro reports on this.
It's been all about partisan politics throughout the 7 years of the incumbent administration. This group laments. They insist that the state has not enjoyed the dividends of democracy in many sectors of the economy, like agriculture, and that human capacity development through education has also declined significantly, with the absence of state-awarded scholarships and financial support to students. For them, the rate of unemployment among the youth is also another cause for alarm and should be addressed within the next 2 months.
We believe that the 5,000 jobs the governor promised Rivers people during his first tenure campaign is no longer enough for the state. We need 6,000 jobs, 60,000 jobs to be created by the state government from now till the next 2 months. This will cushion the effect of unemployment that is already bedeviling the state. We could have asked for more than that, considering the number of years the administration has been in place without creating jobs.
While the younger generation clamors for the government to create jobs, Thousands of retirees and pensioners in the state claim they are being owed more than 100 billion naira in gratuities and pensions. They explain that the situation has left many of them homeless and their health deteriorating, while hundreds have died from the suffering.
Somebody that retired in 2016 was not placed on monthly pension up to 2019, June 2019. And so that attracted arrears of pension, which is outstanding up to this day. Nobody has been paid gratuity in this state for the past 7 years. Nobody has been paid gratuity.
This is my 20 years of widowhood. You can imagine how I've been catering for my children alone and living in a rented apartment.
Based on all their concerns raised about the performance of the current administration in Rivers State, the group also called on the governor to reconsider his presidential ambition until all their demands are met. Uche Okoro, TVC News, Port Harcourt.
To take advantage of the ongoing continuous voters registration and participate in the coming election to ensure active democracy in Nigeria, the Resident Electoral Commission made this known while speaking at the meeting with stakeholders in Ibadan. Olaido Yewole reports.
It is already 325 days to the Presidential and National Assembly election and 339 days to the governorship and state assembly election. While political parties are putting their houses in place to a certain victory come 2023, the body saddled with the responsibility of electoral conduct is also not resting in its hours to ensure peaceful electoral process. The Oyo State Independent National Electoral Commission, for this reason, is engaging stakeholders in the state to prepare them for the task ahead of next year.
The chairmen of political parties are also here. All of them have opportunity to talk, and they should be able to give us their words that they will comply with the rules and they will work according to the regulation of INEC.
If there is any information that can jeopardize the success of the exercise, I think that type of information should be brought forward so that police can work on it.
The stakeholders meeting is the first of its kind in 2022, which is to reorientate residents in the state and prepare them for a peaceful electioneering process come 2023.
That anybody, any Muslim that doesn't have if or easy should go and obtain their own. And during the election, as a good Muslim, we must play a good role.
INEC also took the engagement to the palace of the Olubadan, where the monarch advised politicians to play to the rule of the game and shun every manipulative act.
That we will do by following the rules. That we will do by voting peacefully. That we will do by collaborating with ourselves.
The visit of INEC is the first since the traditional ruler ascended the throne as the ruler of the ancient city. Olaido Yewole, TVC News, Ibadan.
And the former British High Commissioner to Nigeria led a business delegation to have a robust discussion with Ajuwon Bola Tinubu in Abuja. The essence is to encourage investment into Nigeria, as Paul Arkwright believes the country is a wonderful place to invest. Ola Wakon reports on this.
According to available statistics, direct foreign investment into Nigeria is projected to trend around $900 million in 2022 and $860 million in 2023. But many factors ranging from security challenge, infrastructure, and some economic indices have been a stumbling block. A business delegation led by former British High Commissioner in Nigeria, Paul Arkwright, has met with Ajuwon Bola Tinubu to encourage investment into the country.
We talked about a wide range of subjects, obviously from the economy, the importance of bringing investors into Nigeria. I still firmly believe that Nigeria is a wonderful place to come and invest. So part of my role now is to encourage British and international investors to come in.
He identifies the areas that require huge foreign investment that will boost national growth.
Power is very key. The importance of electricity, His Excellency was talking about that. I absolutely agree. Agriculture, communication, education, healthcare, really critical in this time just after the pandemic, or while we're still, in fact, going through the pandemic. So there's a wide range and a lot of expertise in the UK and in Europe, which can help Nigeria recover from the pandemic.
Given the incessant killings by bandits and terrorists in some parts of the country, Mr. Arkwright points out that security challenges need to be tackled to the barest minimum to encourage investors.
It's worrying. It is putting off investors, so investors are worried and concerned about that. And I do think, I know that the government is doing its best to tackle that. I know there's new investments going into equipment, investment, training of military and police. And I think that's very, very important, because without security, you're not going to get investors coming here.
The meeting is expected to yield a result that will bring positive turnaround to the country and further strengthen the existing bilateral relations between Nigeria and the United Kingdom. Ola Awakon, TVC News, Abuja.
Sports, the Nigeria Football Federation has said it will take decisive steps to reposition the country's football following the Super Eagles' failure to qualify for the Qatar 2022 FIFA World Cup. A decision on a new coaching crew for the team is also expected to be made in coming days. Our correspondent Emmanuel takes a look at expectations ahead of the announcement in this report.
With the Nigerian Football Federation set to make a decision on its coaches in the coming days, Nigerians are looking forward to a new crop of coaches who will take away the disappointment of the Eagles failing to make the World Cup and leading the team to glory in subsequent competitions.
This is a moment we need to be very, very careful as a country. You know, we need to check ourselves, especially the management side of it.
It has already happened. There's nothing we can do about it. So it's no more a disappointment because we've gone through it already. So I think what they can do is to just do something that will help the forthcoming competitions so that we can come back to who we used to be.
The Nigerian Football Federation on Tuesday revealed that it will be making a decision on the new technical advisor for the Super Eagles ahead of the upcoming AFCON 2023 qualifiers. But many Nigerians are reacting on the choice of the new technical coaches, whether the Super Eagles should be tutored by a foreign coach or an homegrown coach.
We should be careful to go on which side, home-based coaches or European coaches. We should be very careful. Let's not begin now to condemn one side, because we know the job Geno did, we know the job Westernhoff did, we know the job Bonfrejo did, and not forgetting Keshi and Shuaib as well. So in this situation, it's just one bad thing that happened and the whole nation suffered. So we should be careful.
We have a lot of good coaches here that can handle the Eagles. I wouldn't want to make mention of names. I think if I should mention, EMMANUEL is here. He's an experienced coach that we are looking up to that can take the Eagles to the desired height. There's no need for them looking for coach elsewhere.
The players need to respect the coach more, because it takes a player that respects a coach that will listen to the coach. So if it is homegrown coach, it should be a coach that the players will respect.
Nigeria's disappointing 1-0 draw against the Black Stars of Ghana at the National Stadium in Abuja ensured the Eagles will be missing out for their second World Cup in 16 years after the team also failed to qualify for the Germany 2006 World Cup. Emmanuel Akindubu, TVC News, Lagos.